guys, back at you with another video. Just wanted to touch base with where a lot of these teams are in the NFL. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think that the Raiders are going to be really good, only because Josh McDaniels is going to be their coach, and he was with the Patriots forever. And I think he's due a championship. I think the NFL is due to give him one. So they're stacking his team right now, so that if they do win, no one can really say anything. You know what I mean? They gave him his receiver. He has a running back. He has a couple of receivers now. He has a tight end. He has a decent line. All right. They still have the draft. They just got the middle linebacker. They got a defensive tackle. They have Crosby already. They have a bunch of defensive backs. They got a couple safeties, and they have, like I said, the draft. I think the Raiders, after the draft, we're going to be looking at them like totally differently. So we're going to go with the 7 teams again. Every month I do a little update of where I think people are going to be. So I think obviously in the AFC we're going to have Buffalo. We're going to have Miami is going to do something. I think Miami is going to make something happen. They almost have to. They literally flipped the whole league around. You know what I mean? So I think Miami, Buffalo, New England, they just don't have pieces. Like, how long are you just going to keep saying it's all Bill Belichick? You know what I mean? It's fake football. So, like, they have no playmakers. It's like there's nothing to justify this. So, like, Miami and Buffalo, I'm sticking with them. And then we're going to also say Cincy and Baltimore. I'm going to take both of them. I don't think Cleveland is going to be there yet. I don't think Deshaun's going to be there yet. That's the only reason. Baker Mayfield, I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. As of right now, I pick Cincy and Baltimore. And then I'm going to pick... And let's keep in mind the Colts, they just signed Stephon Gilmore. So, like, that's another hole they filled, but they have no playmakers. They have no receivers. They only have Michael Pittman. They really need to get some receivers in this draft. Like, honestly, I would just draft all receivers, honestly. Well, not all receivers, but you know what I mean. I would look to get 2-3 guys out of this draft, because this is a heavy draft with receivers. I would try to look for 3 guys and then get to work. Michael Pittman can be your big body guy. He's 6'4", big body, I know, but he's not that guy you can rely on every time. He's got to be used in certain spots. Like, he's good in the red zone. He's a big body, but you can't use him up and down the field the whole time. You need other guys to get work in there. They got a running back. They got Matt Ryan. They got a decent tight end. Doyle's okay. And their O-line is pretty good. D-line is decent. Linebackers are really good. DBs are really good now. They got 2 good corners. So, like, they're looking good. So I just want to see what they do with this draft. If Jim Irsay and that whole GM and everybody, they get their heads right and they draft receivers and we see them, I'll evaluate them in the preseason, see how these guys look like. They can make a turnaround. But as of right now, in that division, I'm picking Tennessee only, so that's 5 teams. I have to see more from Indy. Like, I'm not saying they're dead in the water, but I need to see some more, because you can't only win with defense. You have to be able to score, and you can't only rely on that running back. People have tape on them for a whole year now. They're going to stack the box unless they get receivers that are proven, or that can be proven at some point once they get experience, you know? So you move down, you got what? The West. So out of this division, I think Kansas City doesn't miss a beat. But the problem is, this division is stacked. So that is the issue here. So I think the Raiders make it. So that's 6. And there's only 1 team more that makes it out of there. So the Raiders make it. And honestly, I think the Chargers are going to miss the playoffs again, honestly. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think the Chiefs will miss the playoffs for the first year, and I think the Broncos will make it. So those are my 7 right now. Obviously, that could change next month, but as of right now, that's what I'm picking. But who knows? After the draft, we're gonna be back here again. If Kansas City gets another player in the draft, like what if they draft a Tyreek Hill type player where they can just throw it up to him down the field and he'll chase it, or they can just give him a bubble screen and he's gone. Just to play with it where they can just rig things. So like you just gotta wait. This is pre-draft. So pre-draft right now, this is where I'm at with things. After the draft, we're gonna come right back and see where everyone's at. So we got Buffalo, Miami, Cincy. Let's go Cincy right now. Not even Baltimore. Cincy. So Buffalo, Miami, Cincy, Tennessee, and that's even reaching because it really could be Indy. You know what? I take back Tennessee. Let's say Indy. Indy's number 4. Denver, Las Vegas, Chiefs, and I'll pick those 7 right there. Because I think Indianapolis, all they need is receivers. If they go into this draft and just go headstrong receiver, first round receiver, second round receiver, I think they can turn it around. Like I really think that's all the Colts need. They have a veteran quarterback, they have an O-line, they have a run game. They just need little guys. Well, not little guys, just guys that can run routes and get open. Because Pittman is a big body guy, but I'm getting high on the Colts, higher on them, but because I see their vision. But if they don't draft receivers, I don't get it. Like I really don't get it. If they don't do anything at receiver, Jarvis Landry's out there. Like, why not just go give him a contract? Just bring him in. You got Jarvis, Pittman, and draft one other guy, maybe some speed, and you're good to go. Like, because Matt Ryan can make that work. But those are my 7. Let's look at the NFC now. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are making the playoffs. I don't think the Giants are making it. And I don't think the Eagles are making it. I think Washington's going to make it. Because the thing is, they have Ron Rivera, so he's a proven guy. He knows how to get his guys to play hard for him. And they almost made the playoffs with Tyler Heineke. So they're going to draw up a much better offense with Wentz. Wentz has weapons over there now. He didn't have any weapons at his last stop, which was the Colts. All he had was Michael Pittman, who was the 85th best receiver. So he's gonna have a chance to show himself here, but it's probably gonna be his last chance. Like if he stinks it up here, like he's not gonna have. He might have maybe one more chance after that, but it feels like his chances are running out. But in that division, the way things are, Dallas lost a receiver. They're not getting better. They're losing guys. The Giants got a little better, but they still stink. The Eagles haven't really done much, and they kind of wanted Deshaun, so that tells me they're not confident in their quarterback. So I'm going with Washington because they traded for the guy they wanted, and that's the only quarterback that their coach is actually sure about. Every other coach in that division, they're not sure about that quarterback. Even Dallas, they're not sure about Dak. They don't even want to pay him. So I picked Washington there. In the North, Chicago's not ready. Detroit's not ready. Green Bay, they're not that good, but I think they're going to make it just because the NFC is so bad. But Green Bay, they get Sammy Watkins. Like, that's a good play for them. You got Sammy Watkins. Let's see who they draft. I mean, if they draft, the same thing with Green Bay. If they can draft 2 guys at receiver, you got Aaron Rodgers, you're fine. You got 2 guys that can run routes and get open and make plays. Aaron Rodgers is right back where he started. Don't forget, when you got, what's that guy they just traded? Devontae Adams. When they had Devontae Adams, he was a rookie from Boise State. All right, Aaron Rodgers turned him to a star from day one. From day one, he was able to play with him. So I think if they can find a guy, like obviously he's not going to be as good as Devontae. You got to develop into that. But you could find someone with raw athletic ability who can learn the plays and just get open and just be an athlete. Rodgers will make it work. He's made it work with worse. They have Sammy Watkins. They have Randall Cobb still. They have Adam Lazard. So they just need another guy. They'll draft someone, I think. So I think Green Bay will make it. Right now, everything looks doom and gloom. The best guy is gone, but the way they look at it is one less guy they got to pay. And Rodgers, this is what he does. Honestly, his whole career, this is what he does. He goes through receivers. They lose a guy, they draft a guy. They lose a guy, they draft a guy, and they play with them. It's gonna be fine. Everyone's I guess losing their minds, but he's gonna be just fine. So we got Washington, we got Green Bay, and I think Minnesota is finally gonna make the playoffs. Only because the NFC is so crappy. That's the only reason. I think they're also going to do. There's so many receivers in this draft. Like literally every team in the whole league can draft a receiver 2 times over, and there'll still be more left over. That's how good the receivers are this draft. So I think Green Bay and Minnesota will both make it. Now we go down to the South. Atlanta will not make it. Carolina will not make it. New Orleans will not make it. Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay will make it. So that's 4. And the last division, the Rams are making it. The 49ers are making it because everyone stinks. And I guess the last spot, it depends on Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray holds out the whole year, the Cardinals are not making it. So if this all depends on Kyler Murray, and this is why I always have to do an update every month because things change. So this is what I'll say. I'll put an asterisk. If Kyler Murray is going to show up, they re-signed A.J. Green. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They still got their guys. They got their core team. So I think they can make it. But if he doesn't come, I think Dallas will take that spot. So it's either going to be, that last spot is going to be Dallas or the Cardinals. Absolutely. It's going to be those 2 teams. Because you can't make a justification for anyone else. But honestly, I think this year is going to be all about the Raiders winning. And they're forming the Bills. So I think it's going to be crazy because Josh McDaniels is over there. He can draw up offense like anybody's business. I think that offense is going to be prolific. And I think they're going to be so hard to stop. Like I think Josh Allen is going to make that team way better. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to script it for the Raiders. That's me. They're going to beat the Bills in the NFC Championship and play either the Rams or the Bucks in the Super Bowl. And then we'll see from there. Like I don't want to go too crazy, but that's what I'm feeling right now. Like no one's thinking like that. It's always the team you don't expect. So, but that's for now. Like after the draft, that could change. This is before draft. So after the draft, we'll see what everyone has, and then I'll make more picks. All right? And on another note, guys, the USFL, all right? I was reading some things on here. So the NFL, they have chips in their ball that they use. What does it say? The NFL already has a chip in every football, but it uses those chips only for its next-gen tracking data and not for officiating. All right. So if you put a chip in the ball, do you know how powerful a chip can be? Chips are so powerful depending on what you use them for. And how do we know there's not multiple chips? And if you could put a chip in there, can't you put magnets and other things in there? So that just shows you all the ball mechanics when people are just catching the ball and just sticking to their hands, field goals just carrying over like 30 yards, or just ball trajectory just not making sense with physics. It makes sense now. Like it's all entertainment. It's not real, and you got to take it for what it is. Like the days of you playing football in high school and watching those games, those tough nose games, are over, man. It's all entertainment. It's all gonna be just watered down, and the best thing you can do is either just stay away from it, enjoy it, or make money off of it. That's how I see it. But don't like put your heart into it. Don't put your heart into it at all. I had to say it twice because like you just cannot do it. It's not worth it. You're gonna lose your freaking mind and your money doing it. And I'm here to just educate you guys and just put the info out there, show it to you, and you do what you want with it. But yeah, so they use it, and that's because the chips in the middle of every ball just aren't accurate enough to locate where the football is to the inch. So that's why they don't use it for officiating. The data works fine as good as approximation of where the ball is, give or take the length of the football, but it doesn't tell you whether the third play just barely picked up the first down or whether the offense should be facing fourth and inches. So it's not that accurate. So I don't know why they're using it if they're basically telling us it's not accurate. So I know why, actually, because they want to create controversy. That's what it is. Makes it more interesting and entertaining, and you can't define it. So that's what they want. So that helps them with betting and rigging games. Like, you can easily just call down to a ref and say, just call it short. You know what I mean? Just tell a ref, oh no, just call it short. Because if you measure the football and you see the chain is over it, you're like, it is what it is. It's defined. But if it's by a chip, you can just say, it's approximated. We're going to give it to them. You know what I mean? So it just puts a lot more doubt in the air. And that's what the NFL wants. They want more doubt. Because doubt creates more money and revenue. And excitement. And hate. Emotions, basically. It creates emotions. Alright. What else? Replay technology works so well in tennis because tennis is so fundamentally conducive to it and smaller size of the ball and spherical shape of the ball and the ability to always have their camera angles with the obstructed views of the ball and the lines of the court make tennis well suited to its replay system. Yeah, but the courts are way smaller. Yeah, football doesn't work that way. And it's not always possible to tell precisely where the ball was and the carrier's knee touched the ground in relation to huge men being around, surrounding the ball, and the angles and the view. Like, it's just very hard. So yeah, I can see what they're saying. Yeah, so it's gonna be different. I mean, I'll take a look at these games and see if they're worth breaking down. If I see anything funky, I'm definitely gonna bring it to light, and we'll see what they're doing out there, and we'll catch them in the act like we always do. But other than that, I got a bunch more coming, breakdowns, and I might be commenting on that Cam Newton whole situation, which I think is ridiculous. How, like, women always have these preferences. Oh, I want a man who's 6 feet tall, 6 inch, six figures, and all these things that a man must have. But when a man is asked of his opinion of what he wants, he's misogynistic. Like, that's just crazy. I think people just throw misogynistic around. Like, misogynistic is the hate or the contempt of women. Like, he does not hate women. He does not have the contempt for women, and neither do I. Or, like, it's very hard, like, to find someone who actually hates women like that. Like, to be able to call him a misogynist. Like, a lot of women are misandrists, but we don't call them out on that, do we? We just let it slide. We call it preferences. Well, he gave out his preferences. Why is he a misogynist for that? But we're going to save that for a whole nother video, because we can talk for hours on that. But I'm going to leave you guys with that. Have a nice day, guys.